All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be talking about Titanfall 3. Now, as you guys know, the Titanfall franchise is one of the most tragic in the history of first-person shooters because of how much potential it actually had. Now, while there were only 2 official Titanfall games released, rumors of a third one has been floating around for years now, and the developers at Respawn Entertainment have had to repeatedly come out and tell the public, no, we aren't working on a new game right now. Despite the quality of the first 2 Titanfall games, they were financial disappointments to the publisher EA, and after the explosive popularity of the spin-off Apex Legends, it seemed pretty clear that we weren't going to get another Titanfall game, especially after Respawn Entertainment struck gold developing Star Wars games like Jedi Fallen Order and the upcoming Jedi Survivor. However, there has been a ton of news regarding Respawn Entertainment that's came out over the last few days, and while a lot of people are rightfully disappointed about what has been said, I think that there's one silver lining that not nearly enough people have been looking at. In this video, we're going to be going over everything that has been happening between EA and Respawn recently, especially how it could actually be much better news than people realize, especially if you're a fan of Titanfall 1 and 2. Real quick, guys, I'm giving away a PlayStation 5 for 100,000 subscribers. If you guys would like to enter, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel, comment your Twitter handle, and then tweet me proof that you're subscribed. Also, I left bonus entries in the pinned comments, so best of luck. Now, for a quick recap, for those of you that have been living under a rock, Respawn Entertainment was formed in the early 2010s by a group of former Infinity Ward employees, Vince Ampella and Jason West, who left the company after a massive falling out with the parent company Activision. They quickly got the gaming world's attention with Titanfall in 2014 and Titanfall 2 in 2016, 2 excellent sci-fi FPS games that were unfortunately disappointing to their publisher EA due to a number of missteps that were completely out of Respawn's hands. The first Titanfall game had a fantastic foundation but was not released on a PlayStation console, meaning a lot of Call of Duty fans weren't able to experience it, which was a shame because a massive portion of the Titanfall hype was specifically coming from the Call of Duty community. On top of that, EA made the decision to launch the game at full price despite it being multiplayer only, and there was a paid season pass for some reason. Titanfall 2 thankfully managed to fix pretty much all of the problems with the original game, featuring a fantastic single player campaign and free post-launch content to kind of make up for the overpriced original. However, EA made a galaxy brain decision to launch Titanfall 2 within the same week as Call of Duty Infinite Warfare and of course Battlefield 1. October 2016 was absolutely loaded with multiplayer shooters, and Titanfall 2 was completely doomed because of it. Following the financial disappointments of the first 2 Titanfall games, EA and Respawn scrapped any plans they had for a third game and instead focused their efforts on Apex Legends, which was a free-to-play battle royale spin-off that took the gameplay of Titanfall 2 and mixed in elements of hero shooters and BR mechanics, and they were able to ride the battle royale craze that was started by games like H1Z1, PUBG, and Fortnite. RIP H1, by the way. Apex Legends was a runaway success, and it's still one of the biggest games in the world right now, even surpassing Call of Duty's Warzone battle royale in terms of concurrent active players. Everything was going according to plan until early 2023, when suddenly things seemingly started falling apart. At the end of January, it was suddenly announced that the mobile version of Apex Legends was being shut down. Apex Mobile was obviously never nearly as popular as its console or PC counterparts, but it was still rather successful, so this news came as a bit of a shock to the community. And then on February 1st, it was reported by a number of trusted insiders that an unannounced single-player game set in the Apex universe was also being shut down, which personally was a huge shock to me. For the last few months, we've been eagerly awaiting for an official announcement about the single-player Apex spin-off, but it seems that EA and Respawn have decided to quietly shut down the project before revealing it, which many people took pretty hard, and I can see why. There's nothing like getting excited and let down for a project I didn't even know about. Apex Legends may be a free-to-play battle royale, but it has a very rich story and a universe that could have been greatly expanded upon with a single-player spin-off, but it seems like that's no longer going to happen. Then on top of that, it was also announced that Respawn's next Star Wars project, Jedi Survivor, has also been delayed by roughly 6 weeks to April 28th, which took me by surprise since its original launch day was just a few weeks away. With all of this news coming out very suddenly, people started wondering if there was some kind of turmoil going on at Respawn Entertainment, but by all accounts, everything seems to be perfectly fine. Granted, there has been a ton of tech layoffs from Google to Microsoft, so Respawn tightening up their budget a little bit and removing extra wasteful spend kind of makes sense. Now, Respawn is one of the most consistent and communicative studios in the gaming industry today, so seeing a bunch of delays and cancellations all come out so close to each other was a very strange time for fans. Ever since Respawn Entertainment was formed, they've been relatively controversy-free without any massive roadblocks like this, so it's only natural for us fans to kind of get a little bit concerned about what's going on behind the scenes. But I think that there is a pretty amazing silver lining hiding in the shadows. With all of the drama surrounding Respawn Entertainment right now, it could be really easy to take this as confirmation that EA is downsizing basically everything from the top down. Apex Legends Mobile is canceled, the Apex single-player game shut down, and now Star Wars Jedi Survivor is being pushed back. But what if Respawn Entertainment has been clearing their schedule and opening up their workforce so they could revive Titanfall? What if the cancellation of Apex Mobile and the Apex single player game were specifically done so that they could have a true return to form Titanfall game and step one of EA's premium shooters? Think about it, Titanfall's brand recognition is at an all-time high, especially thanks to Apex Legends, and the public requests for a third Titanfall game are only going to get louder. Originally, Respawn's Apex team was splitting their time between the main game, the mobile version, and the unannounced single player game. With Vince Zampella being the head of Battlefield as well as Titanfall and Apex Legends, it would make total sense to have a third Titanfall game, but the only difference this time is he's going to be calling a lot more shots when it comes to EA's three main FPS franchises. He's making all of the decisions at Battlefield and Apex Legends, and of course he is the studio head that is in charge of the Titanfall franchise. This would be the perfect time to finally seize the opportunity to make the third Titanfall game. Now, in case you weren't aware, Apex Legends is actually destroying Call of Duty and Halo right now in a lot of regards. Apex has way more players than COD and Halo on Steam right now, and according to the Xbox Live charts, Apex is leagues above both Halo Infinite and the Master Chief Collection as well. Capitalizing on this massive player base is a really good idea, especially if EA is in need of another premium shooter. If EA finally gives Respawn the green light for Titanfall 3, it would make total sense for the developer to scrap the single player spin-off and move that manpower over to creating a new Titanfall game. It would also make a lot of sense for them to cut their losses on the mobile version of Apex Legends so that they could put more hands on Titanfall. Now, it doesn't quite explain the reason for the Star Wars Jedi Survivor delay, but I have a feeling that it has to do with when the release schedule is at. They want to make sure that it's away from other major games that are releasing so that Star Wars Jedi Survivor can kind of have time on its own. It's totally possible that I'm reaching here. Heck, I'll be the first one to admit that I'm reaching here, and I'm kind of living on that copium right now. But when you look at everything that's been going on with EA and Respawn over the last few years, can you really tell me that it's far-fetched? Apex is crushing the competition right now, and EA is in desperate need of a premium FPS title, especially after the failure of Battlefield 2042. Now that Vince Zampella is kind of making the decisions for Battlefield and both Titanfall, it would totally make sense for us to have both a new Titanfall game as well as that love letter Battlefield game that we've been wanting for a while. Just like it's been done before with Apex Legends, EA is probably looking at Respawn Entertainment to save them. I know Respawn is currently working on a Star Wars FPS game, but since that title hasn't been announced yet and the developer is still hiring for major job positions for it, I don't think it's far into production just yet, although I could be wrong about that. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. With the competition looking vulnerable and with Apex already giving EA a head start, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if all of the Respawn drama over the last few weeks is actually in service for something much bigger. So RIP to Apex Mobile and the Apex single player game, but with EA in dire need of a premium FPS game in the near future, I'm really hoping they can see the writing on the wall and let Vince Zampella does what Vince Zampella does and give him a chance to redeem Titanfall. The first Titanfall was great and Titanfall 2 was phenomenal, so I think it's about time that the franchise got a fair shot at competing with the big names of the FPS genre. Unimpeded by bad release dates or lack of name recognition, all EA and Respawn have to do is market Titanfall 3 within Apex Legends, and they're practically guaranteed to dominate the sales charts when it comes out. Let's just hope that EA notices how great this opportunity is. I really hope they do, especially with how much power Vince Zampella has over various EA projects. Let the man cook and give us Titanfall 3. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below, guys. Do you think I'm reaching here, or do you think I'm actually onto something? Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel with your notifications turned on. Also, guys, I'm giving away a PS5 for 100,000 subscribers. To enter, all you have to do is like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment your Twitter handle, and send me proof through either my Twitter or my Discord. The full details are in the pinned comment, as well as bonus entries are in there as well. Thank you all for watching. This has been Wes, and I'll talk to you in the next video.